death, op, so, bitter fists, entropy wraps, defy, pathfinder strike, ancestral rare boots, 800 defiant testimony, brawl, defiant testimony, brawl, odd grip rise, ancestral rare gloves, 709 grip rise, rune vices, ancestral wind stone raiments, centurion's blitz, ancestral dire hammer, ancestral rare two-handed dire cruel slayer, assault end, ancestral rare mace, bludgeoning, carve symbol, ancestral rare sword, slashing, 790 item power, 1104 damage per second, minus 44, 803 bone shear, death hood, sacred rare helm, holy decree, Renova armor vendor, 234,442,632 gold, 234,872,027 gold, salvage, Flam Mart of the Dire Whirlwind, Brawler's Amulet, Ancestral Legend directly, consumables, Mariner's Refuge Nightmare, Charnel House Nightmare, Mariner's Refuge Nightmare Weak Precision Elite Direct Repair, Upgrade weapons and armor. Occult Demian, Imprint Aspect, Extract Aspect, Sort, Offensive Aspect of the Dire Whirlwind, Sacred Legendary Aspect, 680 item power, Whirlwind's crit stash, left mouse button, feet, in cake pathfinder strike assault stash, assault end, carves path edit tab, skull split battle trance, 230 flawless skull, 3 flawless caged heart of sort stash, 9/9 consumables, Serat's Lair Night, Domhain Tunnels Nightmare Sigil, Horfrost Demise Domhain Tunnels Nightmare Sigil, and Horfrost Demise Nightmares, Elder's Cave, Horfrost Demise Elder's Cave, Serat's Lair, Horfrost Demise, Serat's Lair Nightmare, Domhain Tunnels Consume Sigil, has activated a Nightmare Dungeon, Charnel House, Charnel House Nightmare Sigil, Mariner's Elix Sword, Fractured Peaks, Zivek, Consumables, Quest, Equipment, Wardrobe, Waypoint, Fractured Whisper, Dry Step, Undiscovered, Fractured, Nightmare, Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Domhain Tunnels. Champion monsters that appear in World Tier 3, Nightmare and World Tier 4, Torment, Torv's Strath. LV. 84 to 89. Domhain Tunnels. Left mouse button. Damage over time effects do not have random damage variance and cannot critically strike. Crimson Passages, Torv's Strath, Stone Cairn. Blood Clan Marauder. Fury, Thorn Beast. Blood Clan Impaler. Fortify, 42%, that skill is not ready. Fortify, 63% slash. That skill is Blood Clan Mauler. Fury 98%. Blood Clan Mauler. Fortify, 8 Corpse Winder. Barrier, 47%. Bound Prisoner. Left mouse button. Barrier, 0%. Bound Prisoner. That's Blood Clan Marauder. Barrier, 41%. Thorn Beast, Corpse Winder. Barrier, that skill is not ready. Light Blood Clan 1 Corpse Winder. Fury 100%. Corpse Winder. Barrier, 0%. Corpse Winder. Barrier, Corpse Winder. Fury 98%. Thorn Beast. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 42%. Blood Clan Impaler. Thorn Beast. Barrier, Thorn Beast. Life 87%. Blood Clan that skill is not ready. Barrier, 45%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%.
我还没准备好。
Thorn, blood, that blood clan Mauler, champion. Vulnerable, blood clan shaman. Barrier, 0%.
我还没准备
Thorn,
好。
blood, corpse winder. Life, thorn beast. Thorn, blood clan marauder, minion.
我
Barrier,
必须再等一
corpse
下。
winder. Barrier, 0%. Bound prisoner. Fury 70s, barrier, 37, prisoner remains. Fury
我必须再等
100%.
一下。
Prisoner remains. Barrier, 0%. Bound prisoner.
幸好留你，不然就
Prisoner
完蛋
remains.
了
That。skill is not ready.
我必须再等
You
一下。
you cannot, you cannot, blood, that skill is not ready. Thorn beast. Barrier,
我必须再等一
18%.
下。
That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Bound prisoner.
祝福你。
Barrier, 42%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. Thorn, blood, that's thorn, blood clan,
我必须再等
thorn
一
beast,
下。
that blood clan mauler. Barrier, 41%. Blood clan impaler. Barrier, fury 53, fury 30%.
我必须再
That
等
skill
一
is
下。
not ready. That skill is not ready. Blood clan marauder. Fury 94%. Thorn beast. Barrier, 42%.
我
Blood
还没
clan
准备
mauler.
好。
Thorn beast. Vulnerable. That skill is not ready. Blood clan mauler. Thorn beast. Blood clan mauler. Blood clan
我还没准备好。
Life 95%. Blood clan. That skill is not ready. Blood clan shaman. Fortify. 7. Fortify. 100. Fury
我还没
barrier.
准备好。
33. That skill is not ready. Blood clan impaler. Blood clan shaman. Barrier, 0%. Thorn beast.
我还没
Thorn
准备
beast.
好。
That skill is not ready. Blood you can blood clan marauder. Barrier, blood clan thorn beast. Barrier,
我必须再等一
0%.
下。
Thorn, that skill is corpse winder. Barrier, 42%. That's corpse winder.
我还没准
Barrier,
备好。
0%. Thorn beast, that's thorn beast. Barrier, 42%. That skill is not ready. Barrier,
我还没准备好。
0%. That skill is not ready. Skoskalin. Fortify, 80%
你救了
slash.
我一命，
That's 2. That
我还没
skill is
准备
not
好。
ready. That skill is not ready. Domain tunnels. Blood, you cannot,
我
you
必须再
blood,
等
you
一下。
cannot, blood, you cannot, blood clan shot. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 17%. Blood clan mauler, blood clan
我必须再
impaler.
等一下。
Blood clan mauler. Life 96%. You. Grave blood clan marauder, elite. Fortify,
我必须再等
85%
一下。
slash. Grave blood clan mauler. Blood clan marauder. Shivering blood clan mauler. Life 92%.
我还没准备好。
Shivering, that skill, shocking blood, shocking blood clan, you cannot, that skill is not ready. Grave blood clan shunk, that skill is not ready. Grave blood,
我
that
必须
skill
再
is
等一
not
下。
ready. Barrier, 0%. Shocking blood clan, grave blood, that's shocking blood, grave blood clan, you cannot, that skill
我
is
必
not
须再
ready.
等一下。
Fury 64%. That skill is bloody pile. Barrier, 0%. Corpse wind, that skill, corpse
我
winder.
必须再等一下。
Fury 90%. Blood clan mauler. Blood clan shaman. Barrier, 12. That skill is not ready. Blood clan shaman.
我还没准
That
备
skill
好。
is not ready. Fury 41%. Blood clan, that skill is not ready. Blood clan impaler. Fury 100. Blood
我
clan
必须
mauler.
再等一下。
Barrier, 0%. Shattering blood, that's blood clan impaler. Barrier, blood clan impaler. Fury 34%.
我必须再等一下。
Blood clan impaler. Fury 98%. Blood clan, that skill is not ready. Corpse wine, blood, you can, that skill
我
is
必
not
须再
ready.
等一下。
Barrier, 47%. Blood clan marauder, blood clan impaler. Barrier, 0%. Corpse wine, that blood,
我还没准备好。
blood clan corpse winder. Barrier, For Blood Clan Shaman. Barrier 0%.
我必须再等一下。
Blood Clan Blood Corpse Winder. Barrier 43%. Blood Clan Mall.
我
That's
还
the
没准
Fury.
备好。
100/100. Generated when using certain skills or taking damage. Used for power. Blood Clan Marauder. Vulnerable.
我
Blood
还没
Clan
准备
Mauler.
好。
Minion. Barrier 42%. Blood Clan Impaler. Barrier Nightmare. Blood Clan Marauder. Elite. Vicious
我
Blood
还没
Clan
准备
Shaman.
好。
Nightmare. Blood Clan Mauler. Vulnerable. Fortify. Blood Clan Impaler. Barrier 0. Blood Clan
我
Shaman.
还没准备好。
Blood Clan Marauder. Barrier 39%. Blood Clan Marauder. Fury 100. That skill is not. Barrier
我必须再
0%.
等一下。
Vicious Blood Clan Shaman. That's Vicious Blood Clan Shaman. Elite. Vicious Blood Clan Shaman. Vicious Blood Clan Marauder.
我
Blood
必须再
Clan
等一
Marauder.
下。
Minion. Whirlwind gains +5. Blood Clan Marauder. Blood Clan Marauder. Minion. Blood Clan Marauder. Fortify 98%
我必须
slash.
再等一下。
That's you. Blood Clan Mauler. Barrier 43%. Blood Clan Impaler. Fury. That skill is not ready. Blood Clan Mauler.
我还没准备好。
Blood Clan Impaler. Minion. Fury 100%. You cannot that Corpse Winder.
我必须再等一下。
Barrier. That skill is not ready. Corpse Winder. That skill is not ready. 89. Blood Clan Shaman. Fury 100%.
我还没准备好。
Blood Clan Barrier 36%. Warg. Fury 80%. Warg. Barrier. That
我还
skill
没
is
准备
cool.
好。
Fury 52%. Warg. Fury 96%. That's Revenant. That skill is
我
not
还没
ready.
准备好。
Barrier 40%. Barrier Fury that skill is not ready. Barrier 0. Spider. Fury 100%.
我还没准备好。
War you can Revenant. Barrier 0%. Bloodthirsty Spider. That skill is not ready.
我必须
Life
再等一下。
92%. You Spider. Barrier 9. Barrier 0%. War Spider.
我还没准备好。
Warg. Revenant. Fortify 70. Spy. That skill is not ready. Barrier 23. Fortify 90.
我必须
Spider.
再等一下。
Barrier Flawless Skull. Life 80%. Spider. Fury 54%. You Fury
我还没准备
91%.
好。
That's Fortify 90% slash. That skill. That's
我必须再等一下。
that skill is not ready. Barrier 38%. Blood Clan Impaler. Barrier
我必须再
0%.
等一下。
Blood Clan. That skill is not ready. Barrier 37. Blood Clan Impaler. Barrier 0%. That skill is not ready. 9/9. Corp. You
我还没
cannot.
准备
Blood
好。
Clan Mauler. Barrier 38%. Evade. You Blood Clan Marauder. Barrier 0%. Lunging Strike.
我必须再等一下。
Stone Carving. Fury 48%. You can Fury 96%. You cannot that skill is not ready. Blood Clan Mauler. Blood Clan Shaman.
我还没准备好。
0%. Blood Snowy Blood Tainted Blood. That skill is not tainted blood Flawless Snowy Blood
我
Clan
必须再
Mauler.
等一下。
Elite. Barrier 0%. Tainted blood, snowy, tainted blood, tainted. That skill is not taint. You cannot.
我必须再等一下。
You can tainted blood clan impaler, elite. Life 9 tainted blood clan impaler, elite. Debris. Fury
我还没准备
70%.
好。
1000 that. Fury 92%. You blast. Wretched. That skill. Blood clan Mauler.
我必须
Blood
再等
clan
一下。
Mauler. Wretched Blood Clan Shaman. Elite. Barrier 0%. Wretched Blood Clan. That skill is not ready. Fury.
我必
You
须
are
再等一
Fury
下。
90%. You cannot, you cannot, you cannot, a barrier, you cannot, blood clan marauder,
我还
champion,
没准备好
blood。clan mauler, vulnerable, flawless, barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready.
我必须再等一下。
You cannot, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 37%. Armor and thorns increase, that skill is not ready.
我必须再等一下。
Barrier, 0%. Whirlwind, that skill is not ready. Life 86%, that skill is not ready. Life 97%, that skill is
我还
not
没
ready.
准备好。
Barrier, that skill is not ready. Fury 100%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready.
我必须再等一下。
That skill is not ready. Fury 80%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Whirlwind gains plus 5% critical strike chance per stack. That skill is not ready. Fury 100%. Armor increased. You cannot. That skill is not ready. Barrier,
我还没准备好。
46%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Fury 80%. That skill is life 75. That skill
我
is
必须
not
再
ready.
等一下。
That skill is not ready. Fortify, 69% slash. Barrier, 0%. Fortify,
我必须
92%
再等一
slash.
下。
That skill is not ready. Life 17. That skill is not ready. Fury 79%. That's barrier, 0%.
我必须再等一下。
That skill is not ready. Life 91%. That skill is not ready. That evade. Used to move quickly out of danger. Barrier.
我还没
That
准
skill
备
is
好。
not that skill is not ready. Life 90%. That skill is not ready. Life 100%. Evade. Used to move quickly. That
还没
skill
准
is
备
not
好。
ready. Life 91. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 8%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Fortify, 95%
我
slash.
必须再等一下。
Whirlwind gains plus 5% critical strike chance per. That skill is not ready. Life 91%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%.
我还没准备好。
That skill is not ready. Life 94%. That skill is not. You cannot. That skill is not ready. Awaken
我必须再
Cliffstone.
等一下。
Fury 75%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. You are already devilish. Awaken Cliffstone. Allocate XP. Normal. Magic node. 2. Magic node. Expand. Fortify, 50% slash. Fury 43%. Sort. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Vicious Heart. Sick Empyrean Torment. Ancestral Rare Pack Vow Doom Evoker's Bite. Doom Flare. Evoker's Pack Vow. Ancestral Rare Two-Handed Doom Flare. Ancestral Rare Two-Handed Axe. Doom Bloody Brand. Ancestral Rare Distinguished Lord Strife Makes Death Odd Saw. Empyrean Torment. Heroic Pound Pincer Armament. Ancestral Rare Glove Pincer Armament. Ancestral Rare Glove Gladiator's Work. Evoker's Wraps. Gale Bounders. Bramble Cleat. Exploit. Grim Armament. Masters Doom Relic. Masters Vet Doom Relic. Grim Armament. Ancestral Rare Helm. Grim Armament. Ancestral Rare Helm. 763 item power. Fortify, 0% slash. Fury 0%. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Vicious Heart. Follow the season quest mark in the map or journal to explore seasonal content. Saragar. Fury, evade. Level 89 Doom. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Vicious Heart. War cry. Rank 1/5. Brawling. Shout. Cooldown, 23.22 seconds. Rings and amulets, 235,464,345 gold. 235,988,893 gold. Craft gems.
巧夺天工。
Craft. Item. Consumable. Wheat. Forgotten Ruins Nightmare Sigil. Halls of the Elder's Cave Nightmare Sigil. Hoarfrost Demise Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Tier 48 AF Demian. Imprint Aspect. Salvage Sigils. Forgotten Ruin. Halls of the Damned Nightmare Sigil. Mariner's Refuge. Charnel House. Elder's Cave Hoarfrost Demise Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Tier 48. Transform this dungeon into a nightmare dungeon. Cormet Alchemist. Hone Sword. Upgrade Potion. Upgrade Potion. Superior Healing Potion. Potion. Heals 1200 and Ardnal. Healer. Left mouse button. Interact. Waypoint. Dry Fractured Peaks, Kyrgyzstan. Bitva. Seed, Sebek. Salvage. Repair. Salvage. Exploiter's Amulet. Sacred Legendary Amulet. 700 item power. 16.7 directly, Chain of the Expectant. Sacred Legendary Amulet. 674 item power. 16.1% resistance to all elements. 6 Depth Chain of the Death Mace of Retribution. Ancestral Legendary Mace, Bludgeoning. 794 Direct Skullbreaker's Demon Blade. Ancestral Legendary Direct Devilish Fan. Ancestral Legendary Ring. 7 directly and in Chain of the Expectant. Sacred Aspects. Offensive aspect, Edge Masters of Offensive aspect of Offensive aspect, Defensive aspect of Relentless Berserkers Utility aspect of Bold Chieftain's Resource aspect of Bold Chieftain's Resort. Dex Equipment. Chain of the Expectant. Sacred Legendary Amulet. 670 Main Hand, Off Hand, Two-Handed Slashing. Equipped. Spinal, Royal, Chain of the Expectant. Sacred Legendary Amulet. 674 item power. 16.1% resistance to all elements. 16.1%, minus 7.3%. 8.4. Corman. Alchemist. AF. Imprint Aspect. Extract Aspect. Sword. Offensive aspect of the Expectant. Sacred Legendary Aspect. 674 item power. Attacking enemies with a basic skill increase. Allowed. Trade Wagon. Left mouse. Interact. Trade Wagon. Left mouse button. Interact. Stash. Caged Storm's Companion. 4 Royal Sword. Royal Skull. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Edit. Sword. Stash. Caged Heart. Air. Royal Topaz. Consumable. Elder's Cave Nightmare Sigil. Tomb of the Cave. Edit. Chair. Air. Chair. Left mouse button. 16th. Consume. Weak Third Eye Elixir. Weak Iron Barb. 16th. Elder's Cave has activated a Nightmare Dungeon. Nightmare Dungeon. Night Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Elder's Cave. Skills can trigger lucky hit effects. If a skill has a lucky hit chance of 50%, and an effect of 20%. Elder's Cave. LV. 84 to 89. Elder's Cave. Left mouse button. Characters in stealth cannot be directly targeted with attacks, however their stealth will be broken if they are hit with incidental damage or if they use an attack. Fortified Cave. Elder's Cave. Destroy the barricades. 3. Spacebar. To climb down, spacebar. To barrels. Mark. Scorched
我
Stinger.
还没
Bone
准备
Snapper.
好，
Fury 88%. Bone Scorpion. Barrier. Scorched Stinger. Scorpion. Blackguard. Barrier.
我还没准备
Marksman.
好，
Fort Scrapper. Scrapper. Champion. Life 95%. You cannot fortify. 85%
我必
slash.
须再等一
That
下。
skill is not ready. Barrier. 44%. Flawless Diamond. That skill is not ready. Savage Beast. Fury 100%.
我还没准备好，
Savage Beast. Savage. You cannot. Fury 100%. You cannot. That skill is not ready. You cannot. Savage.
我还没
Barrel.
准
You
备
cannot.
好，
Score. You cannot. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 39%. Next core skill. That skill is not ready. Barrier.
我还没
0%.
准备好，
Barrel 89. Savage. You can. Scorched Stinger. Scorpion. Barrier. Savage Beast.
我还没准备
Barrier.
好，
0%. Savage Beast. Scorched Sting. Arm. Savage. Savage Beast. That's Barrel. Barrier.
我必须再等一下。
43%. Barricade. 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 Barrier. Barricade. Vulnerable. Wrath. That skill is shivering.
我还没准
Sparking
备好。
Scrapper. That skill is not red. Tainted Scorched Stinger. Blackguard. That skill is not ready. Life 90%. Mark Taint. Sparking Scrapper.
我
Elite.
必须再等一下。
Life 100%. Sparking Scrapper. Barrier. 14%. That skill. 1. Marksman. Fury. That skill is
我还
not
没
ready.
准备好，
Fury 100. That skill is not ready. Devious Malignant. Fury 77%. Flawless Topaz. Fury 99%. Barrier.
我必须再等一
0%.
下。
Malignant Heart. That skill is Wrathful Scorched Sting. That skill is not ready. Scorched Stinger. That skill is not ready.
我
Wrathful
必须再等
Scorched
一下。
Stinger. Elite. Life 80s. Wrathful Scorched Stinger. Elite. Life 100%. Wrathful Scorched Stinger. Elite.
我必须再等一下。
Wrathful Scorched Stinger. Minion. That skill is not ready. Life 91%. Scorched Sting. Wrathful
我必须
Scorched
再等
Stinger.
一下。
Elite. Fury 77%. Scorched Stinger. Minion. Scorpion. Savage Beast. Barrier.
我还没准备
9%.
好，
Scorched Stinger. Minion. Scorched Stinger. Minion. Fury 100%. Strike. You cannot. You barricade. Barrier. 38%. Blackguard. Windy Throat Slitter. That
我
skill
还
is
没
not
准备
ready.
好，
Barrier. 0%. Great. That's Shivering Scorpion. Barrier. Scorched Stinger. Barrier.
我
That
必须
skill
再
is
等
not
一
ready.
下。
Barrier. 0%. Next core skill. Hell Collar Scorched Sting. Hell Collar Scorched. 1. You
我必须再等一下。
Fury 75%. You cannot. Warhammer. Ancestral. Fury 98%.
我还没准备好，
You cannot. Scrap. You cannot. Black. You can mark. Scorched Stinger. Barrier. Barricade.
我必须再等一下。
Barricade. Fury 78%. Marksman. Fury 100%. Scorch. That breach. You cannot. Set that skill.
我还没准备好，
43%. Scrapper. Scorched Stinger. Barrier. 0%. Spark. That skill.
我还没
Scorched
准备
Stinger.
好，
Scrapper. Barrier. 0. Fury 79%. That skill is that glorious hook. Scorched. Fury
我还没
100%.
准备好，
Glorious Stone Cat. You cannot. Marks. You cannot. Breach. That skill is not ready. Barrier.
我必须再
43%.
等一下。
Scorpion. Scorched Stinger. Barrier. 0%. Scorpion. Fury 79%. Marksman.
我必须再等一
Fury
下。
100%. Scorpion. Scorched Stinger. Barrier. 0%. That skill is not ready.
我还没准
Scorched
备好，
Stinger. Barrier. 49%. Lever. Fury 98%. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 0%.
我还没准备
That
好，
skill is Blackguard. Ancient's Totem. Fury 70. Marksman.
我的
Not
怒
in
气
Fury
不够
5th Marksman. Barrier. 0%.
我还没准备
Fury
好
99%. Marksman. Level. You that you can that you can that you can you cannot level you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you barrel you you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you cannot you can blackguard. Barrier 45%. Bone
我
snap
还没
bone
准备
snapper.
好。
Barrier 0%. Blackguard. Bone snapper. Bone snapper. Stone cat. That skill is not ready.
我还没准备好。
Scorching scorched stinger. Elite. Scorching. That skill is not ready. Scorching scorched stinger. Elite. Fortify. Fury 77.
I made
Fury
准备好。
54%. Flawless topaz. Barrier 47%. That skill is not ready. Barrier. Bone snap. Scorched stinger.
我必须再等一下。
That skill is not ready. Fortify. 100% blackguard. Barrier. 43%. Bone snap. That scorched stinger.
我还没准备
Barrier.
好。
0%. Marksman. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 43%. Scorched stinger.
我还
Barrier.
没准备好。
Scorched stinger. Fury 79%. Blackguard. Fury 99%. That skill is not ready. Barrier.
我必须再等一
44%.
下。
That skill is not ready. Barrier. 0%. Bones. Scrapper. Marks. Blackguard. You cannot that bones.
我必须
Blackguard.
再等一下。
Scorched. You. That skill is mark. You. That. You. You. That. You. That. You. Scorched stinger. Barrier. Bone snapper. 1000.
我必
Fury.
须再等
Fury
一下。
100. Barrier. 0%. Scorp. Cat. Scorched. Burning. Grave Scorpion. Elite. Barrier. Mace reached rank.
我还没
Burning
准备好。
Scorched stinger. Life sick Grave Scorpion. Elite Bone Snapper. Life 92 Marksman. Barrier 50 Barrier
必须再等一下。
1000 Barrier 0%. Grave Burning Scorpion. Elite. Fortify 98% slash. That skill is
我必
not
须再
ready.
等一下。
Fury. That skill is not ready. Barrier 40%. That skill is not ready. Barrier 0%.
我还没准备好。
Marksman. Bones. Marks. That mark. Scorpion. Bear increases damage and movement speed. Fury 49. That skill is not
我必须
ready.
再等一下。
Marksman. Marksman. Fortify. 77%. Scorched stinger. Throat slitter. Barrier. 44%.
我必须再等一下。
Character level. Armor and Fury 49%. That skill is not ready. Life 84%. That skill is not ready. Blackguard. Life 96%.
我还没准备好。
That Marksman. Bone Barrier. 0%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. That
我必须
skill
再
is
等
not
一
ready.
下。
You cannot. Bones. You. That's Scorpion. Bone. Blackguard. Fortify. 97% slash. Fortify.
我还没准备
10,986
好。
slash. Windy throat slitter. Windy throat slitter. Elite. Barrier. 0%. Windy wretched throat slitter. Windy wretched throat
我
slitter.
必须再等一下。
Barrier. 45%. Bloodthirsty throat slitter. Elite. Barrier. 0%. That skill is not
我
ready.
必须再等一下。
That's you. That you can. That you can. That you can. That you. That you can. That you can. That you can. That skill is you can. That you can. You can. You cannot use Keji Stan.
我
You
还没
cannot. You
准备
cannot.
好。
You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You can. Bones. You cannot. You cannot. You bones. That skill is not ready. Barrier. Marksman. Stormy
必须再
Sport.
等
Bone
一下。
Snapper. Marksman. Wall. Bone Snapper. Fortify. 73% slash. Windy. You cannot. That skill is not. Grave Scorched
我必
Stinger.
须再等一下。
Elite. Fortify. 93. Stormy Scorched Stinger. Elite. Barrier. 0%. That skill. Windy. Skeletal
我必
remix
须再
battle.
等一下。
Windy. You cannot. Fury 70%. You cannot. Fury 94%.
我必须再等
You
一下。
cannot. You 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 can that. You cannot. 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 You cannot use that skill while you are at full life.
我
You
必须
cannot.
再
You
等一下。
cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. Scrapper. Barrier. 37%. Bone Snapper. Barrier.
我必须再等一下。
In that burning throat slitter. Or bones. Coven's cowl. Sacred. Barrier. 52%.
我还没准
Stone
备好。
barrier. 0%. Fur-lined mitts, that skill, Coven, you have that. War. Sword. 1400 and Shackling Wanderer, Wars, S, Sword, Caged Heart of the Malignant Pact. Wrathful, Shackling, Great Maul. Two-hand, Sword. Rogues can use imbuement skills to modify some of their attacks to deal different types of elemental damage and apply additional harmful effects. Decol. LV. Armor and Thorns increased. Fortify, 73% slash. Sword. Sky, War Sight, Ordered, War Sight. Loath, Ordered, War Sight. Scowling Sight. Ancestral Rare Helm. 800, Iron Reaper. Entropy Crest, Loath Splitter. Severed Grim Reap, Sever Tormentor. Ancestral Rare Axe, Slashing. 797 item power, Bone Ram. Bone Ram. Sever Tormentor, Bone Ram. Ancestral Rare Mace, and Assaults, Doom Stranglers. Ancestral Rare Gloves. 700, Soul Hands. Cruel, Rift Boon, Dash, Rift, Sever, Habit, Rift, Vagabond, Rift Boon, Proven Strand. Dash Downfall, Rift Boon. Rift Boon. Dash Downfall, Dash Down, 2, Grim, Iron Reaper, Scowling Sight. Ancestral Rare Helm. 800 item power. 1000 armor, minus 30. Plus 5 maximum fury 5 to 13, plus 5. Weapons, 236,195,011 gold. 236,795,247 gold. Salvage. Directly in consumables. Mariner's Refuge, Elders, Hoarfrost Demise Knight, Sword. Equipment. Consumables. Caged Heart of Magic. Kansu. Salvage. Repair. Travelers beware. Deadly threat spotted nearby. Left mount chair, stash, frost, seps, the butcher's cleaver, Caged Heart of Punishing Speed. Devious Heart. 600, the butcher's cleaver. Bone, Caged Heart of Punishing Speed. Hearts, War, the book, Devious Heart, Bone, Caged Heart of the Malignant Pact. Frostburn. Ancestral Unique Gloves. Caged Heart of the Unconstrained, Caged Heart of the Caged Heart of Creeping Death. Immortal, Caged, Flawless Sapphire, Flawless Topaz, Caged, Flawless Amethyst. Severed, Edit tab, Share, Severed, Storm's Companion. Flawless Topaz, Caged, Sword. Stash. The Butcher's Cleave. Caged Heart of Revenge. Caged Heart of Tempting. Caged Heart of Tempting Fate. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Caged Heart of Tempting. Caged Heart of Focused Rage. Caged Heart of Tempting. Caged Heart of Focused. Caged Heart of Caged Heart of Revenge. Caged Heart of Revenge. Caged Heart of Revenge. Caged Heart of an X. Caged Heart of the Barber. Caged Heart of Akon, Hoarfrost, Tomb of Caged, Edit, Sword, Tomb of the Saints, Nightmare Sigil, Akon's Grasp, Immortal, Akon's Grasp, Hoarfrost, Akon's Grasp, Edit, Sword, War, 236,795,247 gold. Consumables, Equipment. Stash, Sever Tormentor. Consume, Vicious Devious Malignant Invoker. Malignant Invoker, Evade, 5/9/9. Bandit Hideout. Left mouse button. Enter, Bandit Hideout. Fur-lined mitts, Fiend, Awaken, Awaken, Vis, Awakened, Cup. Shackling Chest. Left. Awakened Glyphstone. Awakened Glyphstone. Up. Whisper. Strong. Waypoint. Teleport confirmation. Travel to Kyovashad. Upon reaching level 15 and completing the Legacy of the Magi quest, sorcerers unlock enchantments. Kyovashad. LV. Dexterity. 6. Sword. Fiends. Math. Pow. War. Thief's Inception. Thief's. Chop Agent. Chop Agent. Mask. Fiend Scalp. Fiend. Shackling Wanderer's Helm of Vehemence. Ancestral Magic Helm. Renault Armor Vendor. 236 mil Armor Vendor. 236,807,868 gold. 236,972,464 gold. Salvage. Repair. Salvage. Main offhand. Equipped. Consume Edgemaster's Gargoyle Greatsword. Main hand offhand. Edgemaster's Gargoyle Greatsword. Edgemaster's Gargoyle Greatsword. Ancestral Legendary Two-Handed Sword. Edgemaster's Gargoyle Greatsword. Directly into consumables. Caged Heart Consumable Quest. Mariner's Refuge Charnel House. Hoarfrost Elder Hoarfrost Serat Slayer Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Kyovashad. Side Quest. LV. Bandit Hideout. Left mouse button. Kyovashad. Krasia. Side Quest. Dry Steps. Dry Steps. Hazar. Corman's Workbench. Craft Malignant Items. Salvage Malignant Items. Chair. Left mouse button. Sit down. Will. Consumable. Sort. Hoarfrost Demise Nightmare Sigil. And Elder's Cave Nightmares. Hoarfrost Elder's Cave Nightmare Sigil. Hoarfrost Demise Elder's Cave Serat's Lair Nightmares. Serat's Lair. Hoarfrost Demise. Serat's Lair Night. Serat's Lair Night. Charnel House Night. Mariner's Refuge. Serat's Lair Nightmare Sigil. Consume Sigil. Has activated a Nightmare Dungeon. Skoskalan. Nightmare Dungeon. Nightmare Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Serat's Lair. Seasonal items only last the current season. Seasonal characters will be moved to the Eternal Realm when the current the Scorched Orchards. Serat's Lair. Left mouse button. Interact. Devious malignant enemies will occasionally damage your class resource. Infested Tunnels. Serat's Lair. Destroy the Silken Spire. 3. Plagued Toxic Lurker. You cannot. Slain Villager. Fury 90. Toxic Lurker. Fortify. 21% slash. Plagued Creeper. Armor increased by 0. That skill is not ready. Fury 70. Toxic Lurker. Fortify. 40. Toxic Lurker. Fortify. 84% slash.
我还没准备好。
Barrier. 39%. Scorch. Grave Arachnid Horror. Minion. Barrier. 0%.
我必须再等一
Toxic
下。
Plagued Creeper. That skill is not ready. Plagued Creeper. 2. Barrier. 43%. Toxic Lurker. Barrier. 0%.
我还没准备好。
Flawless Ruby. That skill is not ready. Major Healing Potion. Barrier. 37%.
我还没准
That
备
skill
好。
is not ready. Barrier. 0%. Furlined Hood. You can.
我必须再等一下。
Toxic Lurker. Barrier. 38%. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 0. That skill is not ready.
我还没
Toxic
准备
Lurker.
好。
Arachnid Horror. Barrier. That skill is not ready. Toxic Lurker. Barrier. 0%.
我还没准备好。
Flawless. Barrier. 39%. Silk. Whirlwind. Barrier. 0%.
我还没准备好。
+1 pair. That's Zirin Cox Bolt Crawler. Elite. Toxic. That skill is not ready. Toxic Lurker.
我必须再
Life
等一下。
100%. That's you cannot. One. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 44%. That skill is not ready.
我必须再等一
Barrier.
下。
0%. That skill is that toxic blocking arachnid horror. Giant bat.
我必须再等一下。
Toxic lurker. Plagued Creeper. Toxic Lurker. Toxic Lurker. Life 92 per your barrier 30 arachnid barrier
我必须再等一
0%.
下。
Plague next toxic fortif plagued plague that coven fury 76%. That skill is not ready.
我
Fury
必须再等一下。
98%. Barrier 0%. 80 that skill is not ready. Ignore magic node. Normal node. Stone cairn. Skoskalin. Barrel giant bat giant you cannot that skill is not ready. Barrier 39%. Giant bat. Barrier 0%.
我还没准备好。
Toxic lurker. Toxic lurker. Fury 100%. That barrier 0%. That's
我还没准备好。
toxic lurker. Giant bat. Shattering arachnid horror. Shattering arachnid horror. Elite. The fleeting gift of mother's
我还没准备好。
Plagued creeper. Barrier. Plagued creeper. Level 89 experience. 12,446,074 Silken Spire. Elite. Barrier. 44%. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 0%. Sackfully. Level 8. Sackfully. Plague. You can. You cannot. That skill is not ready. Barrier. Reduce damage taken. Barrier. Hep. Barrier.
我还没准备好。
Hep. You are all. That skill is not ready. You cannot. Arachnid horror.
我必须再等一下。
44%. Arachnid horror. Barrier 0%. Toxic lurker. That skill. Toxic
我
lurker.
还没准备好。
Barrier 9. Toxic lurker. Barrier 0%. That skill is not ready. Giant bat. That skill.
我还没准备好。
That skill is not ready. Barrier 38%. Plague. Arachnid horror. Barrier 0%. That skill is not ready. Fury 7. Plague creep. Toxic lurker. Barrier 44%. That toxic challenging shout. Barrier
我还没准备好。
0%. That arachnid horror. Plagued creeper. Toxic. Scorch. Wretched arachnid horror. Elite. Barrier. Toxic lurker.
我必须再等一下。
Barrier 0%. Wretched arachnid. Evade. Plague. Toxic lurker. That skill is not ready.
我必须
Barrier
再等一下。
18%. Flawless. Barrier 0%. That skill is not ready. Fury. Toxic. That skill is not ready. Barrier
我还没准备好。
38%. Thorn beast. That skill is not ready. Barrier 0%. The fleeting gift. That's in Fury 80%. That skill
我
is
还
not
没
ready.
准备好。
Barrier 1,700 and Fury 1 damage increased. Barrier 0%. That skill is Toxic Lurker. Plague.
我必须再等一下。
Plague Creeper. Minion. Barrier 0%. That's Toxic Lurker. That skill. So
我必须再等
that
一
skill
下。
is not barrier 36%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Barrier 0%.
我
Giant
必
bat.
须再等一下。
You cannot toxic. You cannot. That's plague. Whirlwind gains plus 5% critical strike chance per stack. Barrier. Toxic
我必须
lurker.
再等一下。
Barrier 0%. That toxic lurker. Barrier 44%. Brutal arachnid horror.
我必须
Elite.
再等一下。
Barrier 0%. Armor increased by 0.50% per stack. Barrier 70. Toxic lurker. Barrier
我必须再等一
0%.
下。
Arachnid bat 1. Barrier 43%. Brutal arachnid horror. Elite. Brutal arachnid that skill is not
我
ready.
必须再等一下。
Fury 100%. Dom plague toxic lurker. Barrier 44%. Fury 7. Glorious barrier
我还没准备好。
0%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Silk Fury. That skill is not ready. Barrier
我必须再等一
38%.
下。
Silken Spire. Elite. Barrier 0%. Zirencox Sparkburn. Elite.
我还没准备好。
Toxic Lurker. Barrier 0%. That That skill is not. You cannot.
我
That
还没
skill is
准
not
备
ready.
好，
Barrier, 44%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Resplendent plague toxic
我必须再等一下。
thorn beat stone cairn thorn toxic plague you cannot you toxic you plague toxic lurker barrier
我还没准备
45%.
好，
Toxic lurker barrier 0%. Druidic that's plague creep toxic
我
lurker
还没准备好，
barrier 43%. Dungeon Skoskalan toxic lurker barrier 0%. Giant
我
that
必须
skill
再
is
等一下。
toxic lurker. Arachnid horde that skill is not ready. Barrier 45 toxic lurker. Barrier that skill is not ready. Barrier 0%. Undiscovered.
我
That
必须
skill
再
is
等一
not
下。
ready. Two hit sword intelligent 5004 barrels. Fortify 64% slash.
我
That
必须
skill
再
is
等一
not
下。
ready. Blast, you have reached blast wave fallen, you fallen. Barrier 45%. Fallen.
我还没准备
Barrier
好，
0%. That skill is not ready. Fury 80%. That skill is not Ice Clan Marauder. Fury
我必须再
84%.
等一下。
That oppressor. Barrier 0%. Oppressor. That's oppressor. Barrier oppressor.
我必须
Fury
再等一下。
62 oppress. That skill is oppressor. Barrier oppressor. Fury 49%. Oppressor. Step band. Ancestral.
我必
Fury
须再等一下。
96%. Suck. That skill is not ready. Barrier 40 succubus. Fury 70. That skill oppressor.
我还
Fury
没准备好，
95%. Armor in oppressor. Fury 70. That skill is not ready. Barrier
我必须再等一
39%.
下。
Black. That skill is not ready. Fiery oppressor. Vile fiend. Fury 98%. Scorching fire. That skill
我
is
必
not
须再
ready.
等一下。
Very windy succubus. Elite. Event complete. Barrier. Fury 100%. Path.
我还没准
That
备
skill
好，
is not greater radiant. You cannot blast. You cannot pile. You cannot use that skill. Iron skin level 89 experience. 13,977,000. Salvaging caged hearts you don't need will produce ichor that can be used to craft new hearts, or invokers for Saragar. LV. 89. Fortify. 61% slash. Off. Death, anger, death, shadow wraps. Ancestral rare gloves. 784 item power. Death strike. Hide hands. Slot shadow wraps. And death strike. Death grip cage. Shadow stalker's retribution. Evade cycle arbiter. Ancestral rare ring. 804 the revenge. Aurora scar. And Aurora scar. The revenge. And the revenge. Shadow lantern. Ancestral rare ring. Evade. Death dawn. Death dawn. Shadow watch. Cause terrible horror. Watchful sin. Ancestral rare helm. Chaos skull. Grim dawn. Ancestral rare helm. Carapace hate. Grim aegis. Carapace hate. Chaos skull. Ancestral rare helm. 8th ring. Chaos cycle arbiter. Ancestral rare cycle arbiter. Ancestral rare ring. Fortify 0% slash. Fury 0%. Weapons 237,696,067 gold. 238,202,750 gold. Salvage. Iron Blood Warlord plate. Direct cycle Skullbreaker's amulet. Directly cycle arbiter Dust Devil's Ghoul King's blade. direct equip consumables. Garon hold Path of the Blind Nightmare Sigil. Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Core Valor Ramparts Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Comder Temple Nightmare Sigil. Comder Temple Nightmare Sigil. Elder's Cave Nightmare Sigil. And Domhain Tunnels Nightmare Sigil. Hoarfrost Demise Night 16 Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Hoarfrost Weak Twisted Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Weak Third Eye Elixir. CDs. Salvage. Repair. Caged Heart of the Lionheart. Brutal Heart. 6 Saragar. Infested Tunnels. Left mouse button. Infested Tunnels. Black Highland Glory Blast Wave Shrine. Left mouse but Queen's Den. Serats, you cannot Fury 92%. That skill is not ready. Fortify, 22% slash. Barrier, that skill is not ready. Heavy Axe, that skill is not ready. Fury 25%. Mace. Awakened Glyphstone, that skill is not Awakened Glyphstone. Left mouse button, allocate XP. Skoskulant, Fractured, Waypoint, Teleport Confirmation. Fortify, 6% slap, Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Kyovashad. Fury 0%. Be sure to fill up your healing potion at the healer before leaving town. Kyovashad. LV. Flawless, Sort. Shadow, Dread Vein. Ancestral Dread Vein, Wrecker's Star. Terrible, Clench Slayer. Ancestral Rare Gloves. 800 item power. 400 armor, plus 14. Shadow Wraps. Ancestral Rare Gloves. 784 item power. 392 armor, plus 6. Plus 5.5% critical strike chance 3.0 to 8.0%. Bone, Loath Talon, Clench, Shadow Wrap, Loath Talons. Loath Talons. Ancestral Rare Boots. 769 item power. 3 Cycle Arbiter. Flawless, Terrible Armor. Ancestral Rare Terrible Defiant Hood. Defiant Hood. Ancestral Rare Helm. 781 item power. 976 armor, minus 54. Corman's Workbench. Craft Malignant Items. Caged Heart of the Lionheart. All, salvage malignant items. Salvage malignant items. Corman's Workbench. Kyovashad. Waypoint. Left mouse button. Osra. Weapons. 238,293,244 gold. 238,462,029 gold. Salvage. Directly consumables. Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Mariner's Comder Temple Domhain Tunnels Nightmare Sigil. Elder's Cave. Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Mariner's Domhain Comder Temple Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Elder's Cave Comder Temple Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Whisper. Garon hold Nightmare Sigil. Dexterity. 6 Direct Repair. Repair. Holy Decree. Kyovashad. Wave Queen Equip Consumable at Sort. Stash. Storm's Boneweave Help. Shadow Cycle. The Butcher's Cleaver. 200 Flawless. You cannot do that in this area. Storm's Sort. Royal Will Consume. Elder's Brutal. Edit tab. 400 Brutal Malignant. Weak Domhain Tunnels Nightmare Serat's Lair Nightmare Sigil. Consume. Mariner's Refuge Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Consume. Elders has Act Domhain Tunnels Night Weak Sort. Hoarfrost Demise Nightmare Sigil. Corman Side Quest. LV. Side Corman Wait Fractured Dry Steps. Keji Side Skos Dungeon Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Mariner's Refuge. Players and enemies are healthy when they are above 80% life and injured when they are below 35% life. Razor Shoals. LV. 84 to 80. Mariner's Refuge. Left mouse. Upon reaching level 15 and completing the Legacy of the Magi quest, sorcerers unlock enchantments, allowing them to utilize powerful passive versions of their Hollow Caverns. Mariner's Refuge. Destroy the Seaborn Goddess. Stone Cairn. Bloated Corpse.
我必须再
Shambling
等一
Corpse.
下。
Fury 87, Fortify, 21% slash. Shambling Corpse. That skill is not ready. Barrier,
我还没准备好
44%. Bench, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill, flop.
我
That
必须
skill,
再等一下
Fortify, 83%, 4. Barrier, 45%. Vengeful Spirit, Shambling Corpse. Barrier,
我还
that
没
skill
准
is
备
not
好
ready. Fury 92%. You cannot, Siren, you cannot, that Shambling
我
Corpse.
还没准备好
Barrier, 47, Banshee, Barrier, 0%. Vengeful Spirit, that Vengeful Spirit, Shambling,
我必须再等一下
you cannot, Shambling Corpse. Barrier, 40, that skill is not ready. Vengeful Spirit.
我必须再等一下
Barrier, 0%. Vengeful Spirit, dread, that, you cannot, dread, you cannot, you cannot,
我必须再等一下
you cannot, you are all, vengeful, you cannot, bloat, 8,
我必须再等
shambling
一下
corpse. Barrier, 45%. Fury 6, shambling corpse. That skill is not ready. Vengeful Spirit.
我还
That
没
skill
准
is
备
not
好
held collar deckhand. Vengeful deckhand. Banshee. Barrier, 0%. Vengeful shiver Banshee. That skill
我
is
必
not
须再
ready.
等一下
Banshee. Fury 58%. Fury 81. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. Burnt.
我
That
必须
skill.
再等一下
Burning deck. That skill is not ready. Snowy First Mate. Elite. Barrier. Barrier, 0%. That skill is Banshee.
我还没准备好
Snowy First Mate. Fury 60. Fury 37%. You can brutal.
我还没准备好
You cannot Fury 6. You cannot Fury 85%. You cannot you cannot
I made your
Fury.
way.
You cannot Seaborn. That's Seaborn Goddess. Elite. Barrier, 47%. Seaborn Goddess. Elite.
我必须再等
Barrier,
一下
0%. That skill is not ready. See, you cannot, see, you cannot, Seaborn, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 45, Reg. Barrier, 0%.
我必须
That
再
skill
等一
is
下
not, that skill is Stockades, Seaborn Goddess. That skill is Seaborn Goddess, you cannot, that skill, you cannot,
I made your way.
you cannot, that skill is not ready. Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Barrier, Ethelyn Midnight,
我还没准备好
Life 92%. Ethelyn Midnight, that Ethelyn, you can, that skill is
我必
not
须再
ready.
等一下
Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Ethelyn Midnight, Elite.
我
Life
必须再等一
99%.
下
Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Fortify, 41% slap. Life 77%. Ethelyn Midnight, that's Ethelyn Midnight.
我必须再等
Ethelyn
一下
Midnight, Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Ethelyn Midnight, that skill is not ready. Fortify, 42%. That skill is not ready. Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Ethelyn Midnight, Elite. Fury 6, Fury 44%. You are all, that's,
我必须再等一下
that skill is not ready. You cannot use that skill while you are at full lot Skoskalin. Fury
我还
92%.
没准备好
You cannot fortify, 85% slash, wretch, minion. Barrier, vengeful spirit. Barrier, vengeful spirit.
我必须
Barrier,
再等一下
0%. Devious deckhand, elite, devious banshee. Barrier, 47%. That skill, vengeful
我必须
spirit.
再等一下
Barrier, 0%. That's wretch, that's devious deckhand, elite.
我
Barrier,
还没准备好
39%. Devious deckhand, elite. Barrier, 0%. Vengeful Tidewalker, you cannot. Fourth,
我必须再
vengeful
等一
spirit.
下
Wretch, Caged, Fury 100%. Barrier, 0%. Ha, that skill is not ready. Blast deckhand,
我还没准备好。
deckhand, reg. You cannot, that deckhand. Reg. Furline, Fury 58%. Furline, barrier,
我必须再等一下。
0%. That skill is not ready. Fury 100%. That skill is not ready. Fury 79%.
我必须再等一
Bone
下。
mass. Barrier, 44%. Bone wall. Barrier, that skill is not ready. Bone mass. Fury 86%.
我必须再等
That
一下。
skill is not ready. That's, you cannot, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 52%.
我必须再等一下。
Skeleton captain. Barrier, 0%. Skeleton. Next core skill deals 1% X increased damage per stack.
我必
Life
须再等一下。
97%. You cannot, that skill, you can, bone, you can, skeleton captain. Barrier, 0%.
我还没准备好。
Skeleton, bone mass, that skill is not, bone mass, skeleton, next, you cannot,
我必须再等一下。
skeleton, you cannot, that, that skill is not ready. Barrier,
我必须再等一下。
46%. Skeleton captain. Barrier, 0%. Greater radiant chest. Left, flop.
我必须再等一下。
You can, the fleeting, you cannot, blast wave, you cannot use that skill while you are at full life. You cannot, you deck, you cannot, that reduce deck hand.
我还没准备好。
52%. Vengeful, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. Deckhand, champion. Life
我
8,
必须再
vengeful
等一
spirit.
下。
Fury, vengeful spirit. Fury 43%, deckhand, vengeful spirit. Fury 86%.
我必须再等一下。
Stormy tainted banshee, elite. Barrier, 11%. Shattering vengeful spirit, elite. Barrier, 0%.
我还没准备好。
Bloodthirst, that skill, bloodthirsty tidewalker, elite. Barrier, 38%. Bloodthirsty
我还没准备
tidewalker,
好。
elite. Barrier, 0%. Bloodthirsty, that skill, blood increases, that skill, you cannot,
我还没
glory,
准备好。
you cannot, heavy pan, barrier, 44%. Heavy pan, heavy, that skill is not ready. Bloodthirsty tidewalker, elite.
我
Bloodthirsty
必须再等
tidewalker,
一下。
elite. Life 94%. That's thundering, that skill at first mate. Vulnerable. First mate, win, thunder,
我
that
还
skill
没
is
准
not
备
ready.
好。
Barrier, 0%. More, you cannot, that,
我还没准备好。
9. Reduce, you cannot, you cannot. 1,213 gold. Barrier, 38%. Vengeful
我
spirit.
还没准备好。
Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Damage over time effects do not have random damage variance and cannot critically strike. Saragar. LV. 9. Ramble, Sort. Pinnock, Event, Archaea, Bone Trap, Blood, 200, Trans Passage. Ancestral Rare Amulet. 804 Item Power. 18-point Trans Passage, Lurking Sword, Glory Anvil. Lurking Source. Ancestral, Lurking, Ghoul Runners, Bone, Ramble Clash, Doom Style. Doom, Ramble Clash. Chaos, Bone Traps. Ancestral, Bone Traps. Dwarf, Dread Accoutrements. Ancestral Rare Chest Armor, Dread Razor Plate. Silent Skin. Lurking Menace. Ancestral, Lurking, Eviscerator's Gambit. And if Raven, Conquest Aim, War Flesh. Ancestral Rare, Carve Revenge. Arcane Legacy. Ancestral, Arcane Legacy. Ancestral Rare Womp, Dread Accoutrements. Ancestral Rare Chest Armor. 805 Item Power. Fortify, 0%. Lose it all. And normal node. Expand. Expand. Betha. Weapons.
有看到什么需要的
238,447
东西
gold.
吗？
239,456,720 gold. Salvage. Flawless sapphire. Gem. CDs. Salvage. Razor plate. Ancestral unique chest. Azure Wrath. Ancestral unique sword. Slap 90. Trade wagon. Left mouse button. Chair. Stash. Sever torn. Chair. Severed. Flaw. Razor. Azure Wrath. Storm's companion. Grip end. Flaw. Caged heart of retaliation. Shadow wraps. Arrow. Flawless consumable. Twist. Immortal emanation nightmare sigil. Stockades nightmare sigil. Twisted hollow nightmare sigil. Hoarfrost demise nightmare sigil. War cry. Trait equip consume deck in. With ancestral nightmare stockades nightmare twisted hollow night stockades night twist weak elixir of shadow resistance 4. Challenging shout. Rank 5/5. Defensive. Shout. Hollow caverns. Left mouse button. Interact. Hollow caverns. Warm. You are already at full life. Deck. Vengeful spirit. You cannot pierce banshee. Fury 100%. You cannot fortify. 21% slash. That's banshee. Fortify. 41% slash. Seaborn got bloated corpse fiend. Seaborn goddess. That skill is not ready. Fortify. 6th reg. Fortify. 82% slash. You cannot fury 80%. You cannot fury 100%. You cannot clear. You cannot use that skill while you are at full life. Chest. 9/9. You deck. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 42%. Ban. That skill is not ready. Barrier. 0%. Red. Life 83%. Dreadful deckhand. Elite. Dreadful deckhand. Elite. Dreadful deckhand. Elite. Reg. Barrier. 0%. Venge. Deckhand. Reg. Ban. Deckhand. Fury 80%. Heavy. Barrier. 45%. 90. You are off. That's Banshee. Vengeful spirit. Fury 100%. Banshee. That deckhand. Vengeful spirit. Banshee. That skill is not ready. Banshee. Fury 32%. Banshee. That skill. Banshee. Fury 82%. You cannot, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 44%. Seaborn Goddess, Elite. Barrier, 0%. That's deck, Seaborn Goddess. Seaborn deck, you cannot, Ethelyn, that skill is not ready. Barrier, 43%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. Ethelyn Evershift. That Ethelyn Evershift. You cannot. That Ethelyn Evershift. Elite. Barrier, 43%. That skill is not ready. Fury 56%. That skill is not ready. Fury 82%. That skill is you cannot, that skill, Ethelyn, next, Reg, Fury 61%, Fury 7, that skill is Reg, Barrier, 46%, Ethylene Evershift, Elite. Ethylene
我必须
Evershift,
再等一下。
Elite. Vulnerable. Ethylene, you cannot, that skill is not ready. Ethylene Evershift, Ethylene Evershift,
我还没准备好。
Ethylene Evershift, Elite. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not Ethylene Evershift. That one
我必
grade
须再
dot
等一
barrier,
下。
57%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. Soul Shot, Blood.
我必须
Fire
再等
deck,
一下。
deckhand, Thundering First, that's, you, Blood, Vengeful Spirit, Thundering First Mate, Elite. Barrier, 0, Thundering First Mate,
我
Elite.
还没准备好。
Life 99%. That skill is, Thundering, Red. You cannot, Thundering First Mate, Elite.
我必须再等一
Barrier,
下。
41%. 1, Fury Set Barrier, 0%. That skill, Flawless Ruby. Fury 93%.
我必须再等
That
一
skill,
下。
you can, deckhand. Barrier, 39%. Deck, Reg. Life
我必
87%.
须再等一下。
First Mate. Fury 70, that skill is not ready. First Mate. Vulnerable. Reg. Reg.
我必须再等
Barrier,
一下。
0%. That skill is not ready. Mariners, that skill is not ready. You cannot.
我还没准备好。
That skill is not ready. Barrier, 48%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready.
我必须再等一下。
Cry. Life 87%. Barrier, armor increased by 0.50% per stack. Barrier, life 100%.
我还没准备好。
That skill is not ready. Armor increased by 0. Iron increases resource generation. Life 100. That skill is not ready. Barrier,
我还没准备好。
38%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. You cannot.
我必须再等一下。
That skill is not ready. Barrier, 49. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Barrier, that skill is not ready.
我必须再等一
Life
下。
82%. That skill is not ready. Life 9. You can. Fury 93%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 42%.
我必须再等
That
一下
skill。 is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. Life barrier, 63%.
我还没准备好。
That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready.
我必须再等一下。
You cannot. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 0%. That skill is not. Life 96%. That skill is not.
我
That
必须
skill
再
is
等一
not
下。
ready. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 40%. That skill is not ready. That skill is not ready. Barrier,
我还没
0.
准备
That
好。
skill is not ready. Fury 69%. That skill is not ready. Barrier, 54%. Life
我
100%.
必须再等一下。
That skill is not ready. Life 86. That skill is not ready. Fury 65%. 2. You are.
我必须再等一下。
You cannot. Nightmare. You cannot use that skill while you are at Awakened Glyphstone. Fortify, 62% slash. Awakened Glyphstone. You are Awakened Glyphstone. Awakened Glyphstone. Awakened Glyphstone. Awakened Glyphstone. Left mouse button. Fortify, 42% slash. Awakened Glyphstone. Left mouse. Sort. Caged Heart of Retaliation. Sort. Play. Hack. Corrupt. Rip. Flawless. Storm. Soldier's Flesh. Hack Guard. Rift Relic. Lost Evoker's Storm Adornments. Relent Evoker's Snare. Evoke Doom Mail. Lost Reaver. Doom Mail. Lost Reaver. Ancestral Lost Relentless Berserker's Sovereign Mail. Awakened Glyphstone. Fortify, 0% slash. Fury 12%. Teleport Confirmation. Travel to Kyovishat. Fury 0%. A caged heart can't be removed once socketed, but another heart can take its place. The replaced Kyovishat. LV. Not Kyovishat. Waypoint. Left mouse button. Waypoint. Skoskalan. Dry step. Whisper. Whisper. LV. 90. PvP. Kyovishat. Waypoint. Left mouse button. Corman's Workbench. Craft malignant items. Corman's Workbench. Corman's Workbench. Craft malignant items. Salvage malignant items. Corman's Workbench. Flop depth. Spinal of the bitter splitter. Bitter splitter. Soldier's flesh. Ancestral rare two-handed axe. Slashing. 779 item power. 2100 Oz weapons. 239,679,258 gold. Soldier's flesh. Ancestral rare two-handed axe. 240,021,712 gold. CDs. Salvage. Repair. Salvage. Deathwish Lich Blade. Ancestor Relentless Berserker's Sovereign Mail. Ancestral Legendary Chest Armor. 784 item power. 1372 armor, minus 14. Plus 451 maximum life. 3 consumable. Relentless Berserker's Sob consumables. 16. Whispering Tomb of the Saints Nightmare Sigil. Immortal Emanation Nightmare. Stockades Nightmare Sigil. Twisted Hollow Nightmare Sigil. Mariners. Stockades Nightmare. Charnel House Mariners. Twisted Sarah. Charnel House Night. Twisted Hollow Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral Nightmare Sigil. Tier. Twisted Hollow Nightmare. Hoarfrost. Elder's Cave Night. Hoarfrost. Elder's Cave. Sarat's Lair. Hoarfrost. Domhain. Charnel House. Mariners. Stockades. Weak. Brute. Stockades Nightmare Sigil. Ancestral. Tomb of the Marin. Elixir. Stockades Nightmare Sigil. Tomb of the Saints. Elixir. Sort. Direct. Aspect. Sort. Equipment. Flaw. Relentless. Repair. Repair. Salvage. Holy Decree. Kyovish. Fractured. Kegistan. Dungeon. Dry. Skoskalan. Waypoint. Weejan Hani. Services. Left mouse button. Travel. Demir. Left mouse button. Interact. Demir.
这个旅人，
Imprint
你还
aspect.
好吗？
Extract aspect. Relentless Berserkers material
全部完成
aspect
了。
utility Relentless Berserkers utility aspect. Ancestral legendary aspect. 784 item power. Resource sort.
很快会再见。
Kracia. Real in. Craft gems. Item received. Disable.
现在没办法做这个。
Disabled. The fleeting gift of mother's item received. You crafted royal diamond X1. Item received. You crafted royal stash. Stash. The butcher's cleaver. Royal sapphire. Sort. Stash. Consume quest. Consume. Royal amethyst. 500. Vicious. Brutal malignant invoker. Malignant invoker. Invokes a powerful brutal malignant foe from the indigo malignant pustules found within tunnels. The perfect tool for remedying a boil. Account bound. Cannot salvage. Exit Diablo.
よっしゃ。覚悟しな。行くぜ。はあ。よ。まぬけ野郎。行くぞ。俺も参加していいか。俺も混ぜろや。やんのか。覚悟しな。ほら。よっしゃ。行くぜ。はあ。よ。まぬけ野郎。行くぞ。俺も参加していいか。俺も混ぜろや。やんのか。よいしょ。覚悟しな。ほら。しゃ。行くぜ。ほら。よっしゃ。はあ。よ。まぬけ野郎。逃がすか。行くぞ。俺も参加していいか。俺も混ぜろや。覚悟しな。よいしょ。しゃ。行くぜ。蹴りつけよう。うぜえんだよ。ほら。はあ。どうなるか分かってんだ。誰だって。よっしゃ。 らい行くぞ覚悟しな俺たちの強さほら見せてくそよいしょよいしょまさかよっしゃ覚悟しな行くぜはあよまぬけ野郎行くぞへへよいしょシェッ覚悟しなほらよっしゃ行くぜはあよまぬけ野郎行くぞへへよいしょ覚悟しな行くぜよっしゃ ってよ。まぬけ野郎。行くぞ。ほら。覚悟しな。よいしょ。行くぜ。どうなるか分かってんだ。誰だって。よっしゃ。くらい。まぬけ野郎。俺強権って呼ぶんだ。行くぞ。覚悟しな。俺たちの強さ見せて。まさか。行くぜ。よっしゃ。覚悟しな。ほら。くそ。 しゃよっしゃ覚悟しな行くぜほらかかってこいやあへへしゃ覚悟しなほらよっしゃほら行くぜほらあほらかかってこいやへへ覚悟しなほらしゃあ邪魔すんなよほら行くぜほらよっしゃかかってこいや覚悟しなほらへへあほらしゃ行くぜほらもうちょいだったのによっしゃ覚悟しなほらへへしゃこれでも よっしゃ覚悟しな行くぜはあよしようんよいしょしゃ覚悟しなよっしゃ行くぜよしよいしょ覚悟しなしゃ行くぜほらよっしゃはあうんよしよ覚悟しなほらしゃ行くぜくらえはあよっしゃよし俺らは倒すほらよよほら覚悟しなほらよいしょよいしょしゃくらえ行くぜはあどうなるか分かってんだ誰だってよしよっしゃ覚悟しなほらマジでやめよったぞよいしょ よいしょせっよっしゃ覚悟しなこれでも暗いな行くぜよいしょせっ覚悟しなほらこれでも暗いなよっしゃ行くぜ覚悟しなほらせっこれでも暗いな行くぜよっしゃ覚悟しなほらほらよいしょよいしょよいしょよいしょせっよっしゃ覚悟しな行くぜこれでも暗いなよいしょせっ 覚悟しな。ほらよっしゃ。行くぜ。ほらこれももらいな。覚悟しな。ほらしゃこれももらいな。行くぜ。ほらよっしゃ。覚悟しな。ほらほらよいしょよいしょよいしょ。 よいしょしゃよっしゃ覚悟しなこれでも暗いな行くぜよいしょしゃ覚悟しなほらこれでも暗いなよっしゃ行くぜほら覚悟しなほらしゃこれでも暗いなほらほら行くぜほらよっしゃ覚悟しなほらこれでも暗いなほらこしゃ しゃこれでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰に喧嘩売ってんのか。行くぜ。俺が出る。てっぺなんだ怒られてるのか。やんのか。よいしょ。これでも暗いな。しゃ覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。俺が出る。てっぺん。てっぺん。なんだ怒られてるのか。やんのか。これでも暗いな。よいしょ。一生の恥だぞ。覚悟しな。ほらしゃなんだと。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。俺にかませ。ほら これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。行くぜ。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。手これ。なんだ？怒られてるのか？やんのか？よいしょ。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。ほら、俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんのか。行くぜ。俺が出る。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。よいしょ。なんだと。これでも暗いな。俺覚悟しな。俺たちの強さ、ほら見せて。しゃ、行くぜ。ほら、一生のはずだぜ。 これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。行くぞ。俺の番だな。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。てってなんだ？怒られてる。やんのか。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんのか。行くぜ。俺が出る。てっぺん。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。これでも暗いな。俺。覚悟しな。なんだと。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんのか。行くぜ。一生の恥だぜ。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。よいしょ。俺の番だ。これでも暗いな。俺にかませ。俺ここれでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だな。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。俺が出る。てっぺん。なんだ。怒られてるのか。やんのか。行くぜ。 これでも暗いな。しゃ覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。俺が出る。てっぺん。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。俺覚悟しな。しゃなんだと。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。なんだ。怒られてるのか。やんのか。これでも暗いな。俺一緒の恥だぜ。行くぜ。蹴りつけよ。うぜえんだ。ほら覚悟しな。俺たちの強さ、ほら見せて。しゃこれでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。俺が出る。てっぺん。なんだ。ボコられてるのか。やんのか。行くぜ。よいしょ。これでも暗いな。しゃ覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの。俺が出る。てっぺん。ほらてっぺん。やんのか。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。俺覚悟しな。しゃ 俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？
俺が出る。
てっぺん。てっぺん。やんのか。これでも暗いな。俺一生の恥だぞ。行くぜ。蹴りつけよう。うぜえんだ。ほら覚悟しな。よいしょ。なんだと。 これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だな。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。てこら。なんだ？怒られてる。やんのか。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。てっぺん。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。ほら。シェッ。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。これでも暗いな。俺にかまって。俺一生恥だぞ。行くぜ。覚悟しな。ほら。シェッ。なんだと。シェッ。これでも暗いな。覚悟しな。俺の番だな。 誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。てっぺん。なんだ？怒られてるのか？やんのか？行くぜ。これでも暗いな。しゃ覚悟しな。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？俺が出る。てっぺん。ほら。てっぺん。やんのか。行くぜ。これでも暗いな。俺覚悟しな。シェッなんだと。俺の番だ。誰が喧嘩売ってんの？なんだ？怒られてるのか？やんのか？これでも暗いな。俺一生の恥だぞ。行くぜ。蹴りつけよう。うぜえんだよ。ほら覚悟しな。俺たちの強さ、ほら見せて。